Hello, and welcome to this episode of Just the Two of Us. I'm Kiran Haddad-Taub, and I'm a therapist, couples and individual. Today, I want to talk about attunement. How attuned are you to each other? And I want to use the acronym R, A-R-E, which Dr. Sue Johnson uses in her theory of emotionally focused therapy. And the acronym stands for A, accessible. How accessible are you to your partner? And how accessible is your partner to you? Do you feel that you can really reach out to them? Do you feel that that they can reach out to you? Or maybe even though you're sitting down at the end of the day on the same sofa, you're each in a completely different world. Can you, for instance, get your partner's attention easily? Does your partner show you that you come first for them? And look at it as well in the opposite direction. Do you think your partner finds it easy to reach out to you to get your attention? And does your partner feel that you come first for them? And can you share your deepest feelings with them? Will they listen? So that's accessibility. The second one, the R, is responsiveness. Do you feel that your partner is responsive when you reach out to them? Can you get a response for them? If you need connection or comfort, do you feel that you get that from them? Is your partner responsive to signals that you send? If you're not speaking clearly, if you're not reaching out clearly and saying that you've had a really, really rough day, can they see it in your face? Can they hear it in your tone of voice that you're annoyed, or maybe that you're sad, or that something's going on with you? And do they understand that you need them close by? Do you find that you can lean on them when you're anxious or unsure? That's responsiveness. That's that part of attunement. And the E stands for excessive engagement. Do you feel that you get the support that you need when you've reached out, when they've responded to your request, to your attempt to reach out? Do you feel that they're responsive to you? Do you feel that you're comfortable being close and trusting of your partner? Can you confide in them most things? Do you know that does your partner know of your joys and hurts? Are you attuned? Are you comfortable together? Are you safe and secure together? And with that, I want to bring up what Dr. John Gottman uses as the pillars of the safe relationship house, his model of a good relationship. And he says the two pillars are trust and commitment. And trust means that I trust that my partner has my best interest at heart. And commitment means I'm in it for the long haul. So do you feel that you and your partner, if you would rate you and your partner, where would you be? Why is attunement so important? Because in essence, we are in a relationship because we want to feel connected. We want to feel safe, secure. And if we want to break down these big words, we want to understand how it comes about in our daily lives, and how does feeling safe and secure come about? It's the feeling that I know that you are there for me. I know that if I'm hurting, I can reach out, and you're accessible, and you're engaged, and you're responsive. I want to understand that I have all these elements in my relationship, because otherwise I feel lonely, even though I'm in a relationship. And loneliness is a very hard experience for each and every one of us. So we want to understand our partner's cues. We want to understand how they need our support and what it looks like. And we also need to understand how to express ourselves or how to explain and make sure that our partners understand that we are reaching out. Because often we reach out, or we think we reached out, and we don't get the response we need. We send out signals, but our partner doesn't pick up on them. And when we send out signals and our partner doesn't pick up on them, we feel abandoned. We feel alone and abandoned, and then we might get angry and frustrated, and we might pull back, or we might attack, and that creates further distance between us. So what we want to do is, first of all, understand our patterns of attachment, of how we reach out, how we want to be connected, and what happens when we don't get the response that we expected. And we want to understand that if I reach out and you're not there, then I feel abandoned. And when I feel abandoned, then I pull away, and I go as deep into my shell as possible, and just disconnect and shut down completely and don't want anything to do with you. That's one way of thinking of acting. Another way might be that when you are not responsive, then I will ramp up my my response, and I will just scream louder, or even if it's not scream, just act out louder and be angrier and more upset with you. And I have to understand that these are two radically different ways of acting out, but I have to identify where I am. And I might be, at times I might be on this side, at times I might be on that side, but there is a tendency to choose one default response for most people. And that default response is something that we've learned when we were very young. And when we were very young, the way our primary caregivers responded to us is the way that we learned to respond. That's how we read the world. That's the filter we use when something doesn't go the way we expected it to go. So understanding that we have patterns is something important. And for instance, if I know that I'm going through a rough patch and that I'm more sensitive than usual, I might reach out to my partner and say, look, today is going to be a difficult day for me. I know. I need you to be more responsive today. I need you to be to answer my texts faster. I need to know that if I call you, you would be available to pick up the phone and have a conversation and help me ABC, whatever I need from you. So, and that might take a while for me to understand what I need and when I need it and how I need it. And the same way, I need to ask my partner, what do they need from me? If I know that they're going through very hectic and their time at work, and there's this big project that's overwhelming them, what do you need from me? How can I be there for you? Do you need me to take care of other things so that you know that you're only focused on that? Do you need to vent on your partners at work? Do you need some alone time? And picking up on that alone time, sometimes I find at my practice that people tend to hear when one person says, I want to be alone, they hear, I don't want to be with you. And being alone doesn't mean that I don't want to be with somebody else. I just want to be with myself. And understanding that also goes back to the sense of belonging that triggers that. If you don't want to be with me, or if you want to be alone, and that means you don't want to be with me, then I don't feel like that you see me as inside this relationship as we belong. And then I feel rejected. And then I'm not I don't feel that you're attuned to me. I don't feel that you are accessible, that you are responsive, that you are engaged with me. Engagement can also show up in a couple of different ways. Some people just want to sit down together and have a good conversation. Others need touch. Others need acts of service. If you make them a cup of tea, if you make them dinner, if you take care of the taxes, that's them. Then they feel that you're really engaged with them, that you've really taken care of them. And that also sometimes might go back to our families of origin, where we grew up and how we grew up and how we were taken care of. And that would go back, that would also include what Dr. John Gottman calls rituals of connection, and what traditions you have. How do you eat your supper every day together as a family? Do you sit down every week and have this conversation of how your week went, and reaching out to each and every one of the family members? Or if you just kind of give a peck on the cheek when you leave the house, and that's enough connection for you. And that might be completely different perspective from the houses that you grew up in, and that might feel like the family. If in my family, we used to hug each other every time we came home and sit down for a long 10-minute conversation on how your day was. And in my partner's family, when you came home, how was your day? Fine, and that's it. Then if I come home and get the response that my partner got when he was growing up, I would feel completely ignored and neglected, whereas he would say, well, this is how we do it. I don't understand why you're getting so upset. So attunement would include the question of, what do you need from me? And sometimes when we ask, when we're asked, what do you need right now? I don't exactly know the answer. And that's a good answer as well, kind of saying, I have no idea what I need right now. So I might respond as, okay, so is it okay if I sit down next to you, or do you need some alone time? And that might indicate, if you want me to sit by you, I will sit by you and let you just breathe and see what comes up. Just saying, I'm here for you. And that's attunement. That's important. That creates safety. So we spoke today about the acronym that Sue Johnson uses, the ARE, are you there for me? Accessibility, responsiveness, and engagement. We also spoke about safety and commitment in a relationship, and how we sometimes come up with different, we have different ideas as to what that means, and asking my partner what exactly do they need from me is helpful there. Thank you for being here and listening. If you see this content might be useful for somebody else, then please share it on. I'm Kiran Haddad-Taub. I'm a therapist, and you can reach out to me if there are any questions. Bye-bye.